Alright, this is gonna be the first time I've turned my computer on in about a week. Does it still work? Yep. Good morning everybody, or afternoon or evening or whatever the heck time of day you're watching this vlog. I always like to talk to you as if you're in the same time of day that I am though. I don't know, just, is that weird? Maybe that's weird. Anyway, it is Monday and it is my first day back at work after 4 days off last week. Last week I only worked Monday. And then Mark and I went away to this little like boutique hotel in the middle of nowhere basically, a couple of hours south of Valencia. And it was wonderful. This was our first time like staying in a hotel, staying somewhere other than our apartment or Mark's parents' place for about a year and 3 months, something like that. So it was really nice to be somewhere different. And I'd taken, I think, a full week off work in April. And just the difference in taking, you know, 3 nights away in a hotel versus taking the full, like, I think it was even longer than a week off at home. It was like completely different. I just relaxed so much easier in a different place. When you live and work from the same space, it's really hard to disconnect from work. So even when you take time off work and you're not technically having to sign on and do your work things, you're still in the same general area that you do your work in, you know, and it's hard to disconnect and properly relax in that way. So I'm glad that we took this time because it was very relaxing. Like after the first night I was like, what is life? What is work? I don't remember anything. I'm so relaxed. But yes, now it is Monday, back to work, back to reality, and I am dealing with the inevitable back to work overwhelm that you always feel after taking time off work, you know, catching up on all the stuff that I've missed and, you know, getting my head back into all the projects and things that I was working on. Luckily for me, it is, I think it's Memorial Day in the US, and so my US teammates are all off work today, so Slack and, you know, everything is going to be a bit quieter, which will give me the space to get caught up on things. My plan for the day is to drink this coffee while I go through Slack and just note down like any conversations that happened while I was gone that I need to yeah, follow up on or give my input to, go through Basecamp as well and check up on projects, go through our brand team metrics, which is what I usually do on a Monday anyway. I think I talked about that in a previous vlog. Yeah, to check on the state of our brand and our goals and everything there. And then, yeah, we'll see how long a to-do list I end up with in my bullet journal to go from there. Yeah, because I found that honestly, as soon as we came back from the hotel, we got back on Friday. And Saturday morning I woke up and my brain was like instantly just thinking about work stuff and like, oh, what about this? Or like, I wonder what happened with this. And I don't know, it's just wild what, yeah, living and working here, that my home makes me think of work, which really sucks. It's like a, yeah, one of the pitfalls of remote work, basically. Especially remote work in this time when it's harder to get away, you know. This is my plan for trying not to worry about everything and like, do everything straight away, you know. Nothing is super urgent or someone would have texted me about it and I would know about it already, and so it's okay. I can just like go through, calmly write my list and then tackle things as they come up. At least that's what I'm telling myself. So let's get into it. Finally got that outdoor umbrella that I mentioned a couple of vlogs ago. It's been really nice. Though I forgot that we had it momentarily and realized as I was sitting inside at my desk just reading things and looking at data that I could be doing it from outside in the fresh air. There's like a nice breeze blowing. I got myself a second coffee of the day because that's what kind of day it's turning out to be. Yeah, I'm going to continue my reading and data investigating from out here instead. Seems like a much better idea. Lunchtime, having lunch outside as well because, I mean, why not? Lunch today is leftovers of a red curry with zoodles instead of real noodles. Should be good. I'm gonna watch a YouTube video while I eat. Very interested in the outside, but the cats are not allowed on the terrace because we live on a high floor, and you know, just want to be safe and make sure that they don't accidentally jump off the side while chasing a bird or something. We did buy like a harness for them because I thought that if I could put them in a harness on a lead, I could take them out there like supervised outside time, but this one freaked out when we put the harness on her. I don't know, we might try again one day. Until now, you just have to be happy inside, don't you? I've come inside for the afternoon because it started to get quite windy out there. And I do worry about the umbrella being up when it's too windy. I wanted to just talk briefly about my hair. It's a brighter purple than last time you saw it, and I've also done this thing where I don't even know if you can tell on camera, but it's like a magenta pink underneath and at these front bits, and then the rest is more purple. So if I like pull it back, you see more pink. I don't know, I really like it. I always feel much more like myself when my hair is purple, and it faded to very blonde over last week with lots of swimming and stuff. The like, you know, hair dye just didn't want to stick around in my hair. Anyway, done the catch up and the like data stuff and all of that, and everything's in pretty good shape. And because it is a public holiday in the US, like I was saying, I don't have any meetings this afternoon. And so I'm free to like dive into a project. Normally right about now, which is coming up on 3 o'clock Spain time, meetings are starting for the day. But yeah, not today. So that's fun. I'm going to dive in and get designing on the homepage, which is, I believe I was showing some wireframing that I was doing in a previous vlog, but yeah, we've reached a fairly good spot with it. And yeah, I think it's time to dive in and start working on some design. And I'm going to be using the homepage as a way to like figure out and get more sure on this new brand direction we're taking. Like, actually, let me bring up some points for you and talk you through like what the current issue is that I'm dealing with. I wrote a post about it in our Basecamp. This right here, this sort of like bright colors and confetti imagery and things, was the ConvertKit brand for a very long time. But we're sort of wanting to elevate the brand a little and move away from being so like, I don't know, bright, colorful, fun, into something that's more mature, more sophisticated, I don't know, but more like creatory, if that's a word as well. This is an example of one page that we've done so far, where I've brought in some like hand-drawn elements and little call-outs using Grayscale, my font. Link in description to buy it if you like it. I think it's really good for, you know, handwritten looking, but still being really readable. But yeah, we tried this out, but like obviously this doesn't have much color, and so then when Caleb joined, he's been bringing in more color, these cool pastels and things, but we're still struggling to marry all these different things together, you know? So this is a look at the sort of the direction right now in general. So it's more pastels, more hand-drawn, organic shapes and things. Like, we're always using these, but yeah, leaning on them more and using them in different ways. So yeah, I'm going to be using the homepage as a way to try and bring this stuff together a little more and figure out like, yeah, where we want to go with it. I've had people ask me a couple of times actually in my video about creating a marketing design system in Figma. Let me just put you down on my desk. People ask like, do you make the system and then design with it, or do you design and then build a system based on the designs? And I definitely do the latter. I would recommend doing the latter, because if you just design a system, you don't know if it's going to work in practice, right? So it's better to design things and then systematize it from there, looking out for common patterns and making sure you're like repeating things. So that's what we're in the middle of doing basically, is every page we design, we're moving this new system forward a little way and figuring out what we want our rules to be going forward. And there's definitely some things that we've been doing that I don't think have worked and I want to move away from, like picking you up again. this right here as a CTA block. I just don't like it as much as this one. The use of the hand-drawn stuff next to it. It's really subtle difference, right? But I just think that the hand-drawn stuff works better on a block than it does next to this outline, which sort of feels like it's a more techie feel. And then the hand-drawn stuff is a bit more forced. I don't know how to describe it. And it's also really hard to know exactly what we needed to do to change it. But yeah, that's an example of something that needs fixing, basically. So working on the new homepage will give me a chance to dig in on some of that, and yeah, I'll keep you updated as the vlogs continue on how we go with this. It's definitely a challenge for me because branding is not my strong suit. I thrive much more in like working with something that exists and creating high converting pages and the best UX, the best information flow, etc. But you know, this is good to flex this skill set too, because it's important to have as a designer and especially as someone who leads the brand team. So yeah, working on that. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it here for the day. I haven't made a lot of progress, but it's been good to start digging in and trying to figure these things out. The current problem that I'm facing is what to do about this section here. I want it to be like a short overview of what the product does, and this layout is working quite well right now on a homepage, but I really want something that takes up less screen real estate so that you don't have to scroll as much on desktop for it. And so, you know, we're trying out some other ideas, and I'm sort of starting to see if I can somehow make it stack in a line, and yeah, how we can do that. I don't know. That's what I've been working through, and also figuring out a cool Figma plugin to get my little hand-drawn elements easily into Figma. Previously, I was opening up Illustrator and doing an image trace on PNGs drawn in Procreate, but there is a plugin called, let me go into it in my list of plugins right here. It's called Image Tracer, pretty obvious name, and it does exactly that in Figma. I don't know why I never looked for it before, so stupid, but that's great. Now I have this, maybe I never have to open Illustrator again, who knows. So yeah, I'm experimenting with some hand-drawn numbers here in place of the ones in the bubbles. I don't know. Yeah, as I look at this, it really feels like I haven't done much, but I'm sure, as you know, in design you end up just moving things around again and again, and so yeah, that's how I've ended up in these points. We'll revisit this tomorrow. Good morning, happy Tuesday. I'm feeling pretty tired this morning. It was really hot last night, so I didn't, I don't know, found it hard to get to sleep. We're entering that time of year here in Spain. Today everyone else is going to be back at work because it is no longer a holiday in the US, but obviously I still have a few hours before the wider team comes online. Today I have a working session with the agency that we're working with on a like an ad campaign. We're hiring an illustrator to create all these beautiful like hand-lettered words for us for like the aesthetics of the campaign, and it's going to be a working session where we sort of go through things and give feedback in real time, make changes in real time. We're doing it this way to speed up the production process, and I'm kind of nervous about it because I feel like I'm a processor when it comes to making decisions on things. It's something that I'm trying to work on getting better at, is making decisions in the moment when necessary. I do think that the ability to like know when you need to process is an important one as well. But yeah, this is something that as the creative director, I need to be able to like make gut decisions like yes, no, this is on brand, this isn't, we need to change this to be more like this, in the moment. That type of feedback, and it's not something I've really had to do before because of the nature of the way we work as a remote company. Usually I can sort of like sit, review, consider my thoughts, and then give my feedback, and usually it's written feedback, which I normally find that writing my feedback down helps me to clarify exactly what I'm trying to say as well. Sometimes I'll like start typing feedback and then change my mind as I see it written because I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense, why do I think that? And I like start questioning things. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to give feedback in real time. I'll update you later on today how it goes. That's going to be my last meeting of the day from like 6 p.m. till 7:30. So it's going to be a multiple coffee day, that's for sure. But yeah, it should be good. I hope, at least. It's challenging to do this right now when, like I was just talking about yesterday, or like, I don't know, a few minutes ago for you, we are trying to make some changes to our brand in the way that it's represented visually. And so I don't feel like I have as strong a handle on what is on brand and what isn't right now, because we're in that exploring phase. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes of it though, because I'm sure it's going to be beautiful stuff. The illustrator that we're working with is going to do a great job. So yeah, there's that today. I also have to make a decision on what phrases that we even want to illustrate for the campaign. You know, that's another thing that I've got to decide, and I feel like I'm just questioning myself on all this stuff where I'm like, I don't know, is this the right thing? Is that the right thing? Like sometimes the agency will suggest something and my gut says, no, that doesn't feel right. And I'm like, okay, how much do I listen to my gut versus trusting them because they're the experts in like bringing this whole campaign together, you know? So it's, yeah, I always say that a big part of design is training your gut, and I guess this is just a place where my gut is underdeveloped, is in campaigns and that sort of thing. I'm very good at knowing pretty quickly, giving feedback on a website, on like the structure of it, what's going to convert, UI elements, things like that. But yeah, the rest of it is newer to me, and so I don't know, we'll see how we go. I'm sure it'll be a fun session. I'm gonna have Caleb joining, the marketing designer of my team, and Morgan as well, who is a designer to be, who I've been mentoring on the team at the moment. So yeah, that'll be fun. But before then, I'm gonna make progress on the homepage. I just watched back last week's vlog, and I'm a broken fucking record, aren't I, with talking about this homepage. Every clip is basically me being like, well, I didn't make as much progress as I wanted to, and that's exactly what I just said yesterday as well. So today, I will make progress on the homepage, and if I don't, I will not say it to the vlog, because that must be getting boring for you. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna work on for the majority of today, since like, unlike usually in the morning, there's like stuff to catch up on, of stuff that happened last night, but because the US team was out yesterday, just, you know, there was like 2 Slack messages to read, and one of it was just someone saying that they forgot it was Memorial Day yesterday, one of the international team. So yeah, time to get into it. I do have my Spanish class coming up soon as well, but I think I can get in like an hour of work on the homepage before that happens. So let's do it while we finish the coffee and watch Seb have a little nap on his windowsill. I feel like he doesn't feature as much in the vlogs because he's usually hanging out like in the bedroom during the day, whereas Nora's in the office, but today this guy's decided to be in here. Haven't you, Grumpy? Oh yeah, I know, I feel the same way. Just wrapped up Spanish class, and luckily I hadn't forgotten too much, and I think I had 2 weeks off lessons because just of scheduling conflicts and then being away last week. Right now I am going to just do a quick bit of vacuuming because the cats have put litter everywhere. This is like pet owner life, as I am discovering. You just end up vacuuming a lot. I'm not sure why I filmed that, to be honest, but I just thought it might be interesting for you to at least see me do something that isn't just sitting at this desk all day. Where are you off to, Nora? Just woken up from a nap? Yeah, tell me more. Okay, a couple of hours later, we're about to dive into this 90-minute long work session. I have on my screen the mood board that I put together to send over to the illustrator beforehand, pointing out some like style of things that we like and feel will work well with our brand. I've got this up just for myself to refer to mostly while I'm looking at things and reviewing and giving feedback, to remind myself what previous me, who, you know, wasn't making decisions in the moment, thought would be good, so I can sort of like compare it there. Yeah, I guess let's dig into it. It is 6 o'clock, time to go find the link in the calendar, join the call, put the AirPods in, do all the things. Here we go. Hey team, how you doing? Alright, just wrapped up that call. We're on there for like 90 minutes, so I feel very tired now. And also it's like 20 to 8, so it's time to eat some dinner. But it went well. Yeah, I don't know why I was worried. I think instantly I knew the right reaction to each of the options they were showing us. And it helped to keep in mind as well, because we were looking at words individually on a screen and talking about how they suit like the footage and the creator that they're representing. But, you know, it was my job to be the voice of making sure that they also suit the ConvertKit brand in general. So yeah, that was important to keep in mind. Basically, every time I looked at something, I asked myself, does this fit like the situation we're using in, and does it fit the ConvertKit brand? And that made it pretty easy to make the choices, I think. And also, of course, we had other people on the call as well from the ConvertKit team who gave their feedback, and that really helped too. Yeah, it went well. I'm pleased with that. Now, as per usual, I feel like I have more to do at the end of the day than I did like before those meetings. That always happens, like stuff comes up. But I'm writing it on my list to do tomorrow because I don't want to work anymore today. It's already late. I'm gonna end this vlog here. I hope you found it interesting to, yeah, see what I'm getting up to, and this like little mini challenge to start the week with, you know, returning from work after a vacation, returning to work after a vacation, and, you know, this whole making gut decisions thing that I was dealing with today. But yeah, thanks for joining me. I hope you're still enjoying these vlogs. I wish I had a cat in this room with me to say goodbye to you, but they're both off, you know, doing something. Give this vlog a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, please. It really does help me know like which videos you like the best, and definitely leave a comment as well. I feel like, yeah, I always really notice the comments. Even if I don't reply to every single one, I'm always reading them. So, and I really appreciate whenever you leave one and tell me about your week. So yeah, let me know what challenge you faced in your week down below in the comments, and I will see you in the next vlog. Bye.